If you're a creative entrepreneur who has been thinking rather pessimistically when it comes to AI and the fast-paced advances it's been making in the marketplace concerning the stability and sustainability of your position in the marketplace, fearing loss and such things, this video is for you. I'm going to dive into the 3 biggest mistakes you could be potentially making by having a who moved my cheese mindset. All right, let's dive right into mistake number 1. Clinging to old systems instead of adapting. If you're clinging to the old system instead of adapting, what you're doing is you're hindering yourself from being able to advance what it is that you offer to the marketplace. And thence you will become obsolete and useless. That very thinking is the very thing that will absolutely hinder you and keep you stagnated and lower your value in the marketplace. Besides, if you're not constantly learning and developing yourself as an entrepreneur anyway, and doing this so you can improve the systems and processes for you and your team and what you guys offer, you're going to lose value anyway. So rather than looking at AI as an opportunity to advance yourself, to enhance what it is that you offer and to increase the value, looking at it as a threat will absolutely be the act of you shooting your own self in the foot. I just want to make that clear. Yes, there's a lot of bad implications, just like with anything, just like when the internet was created, just like when telephones were created, right? You know, we had people that can tap into your phone conversations and listen in and things of that nature, just like when the television was created, right? We have some positive programming and then some negative programming. But if we only focused on the negative, how far would we have come, right? How would we have been able to get these great programs and educational information and all of these things that these technologies have absolutely brought forth? And the same is going to be for AI. There's going to be a lot of good. Yes, we should be aware and be safe when it comes to the negative implications, but we absolutely should focus on the good we can do. All right, that's mistake number 1. Mistake number 2. Viewing AI as a threat instead of a tool. And this is the big thing for me. If you're not viewing it as a tool to be used and you're just focusing on the doom and gloom of, you potentially losing your job or not being valued as a service-based or product-based business, it doesn't make sense. Instead of focusing on those things, think of how it can enhance your systems, right? How it can cut time in half for you, how it can streamline your team's processes, right? Therefore, adding even more value to the marketplace, right? Allow you to be able to more efficiently and more effectively serve your customers, clients, and students. Think about it that way, because fear of loss, right? Focusing on fear of loss rather than expanding your reach and enhancing your abilities is the worst thing that you can do, because like I said, you're going to waste a lot of time and you will eventually fall behind. And yes, there's a lot of doom and gloomers. And here's the thing. Gatekeepers are especially nervous about this because they know it democratizes creativity, right? It democratizes creativity. And you don't want to fall into their hands and continue to be unjustly treated because you're not aware of the advanced benefits and the advantages it could offer you, right? It absolutely is advantageous for you to embrace AI and learn new skills and add it to your value stack, right? Because it will absolutely set you apart. And this leads us to mistake number 3. Mistake number 3 is complaining instead of creating. If you are an artist and you have intellectual properties and you feel like AI has been trained on those intellectual properties, and there's a bunch of people who aren't being original and they're stealing your style or the tone of the voice of how you create. Think about it like this. The commoditization that will come as a result of AI and as a tool is absolutely going to benefit you as an original creator. You have original thought. No one can replace that. And certainly not AI. You should feel excited when you're going to write a book. Like me, for instance, right now, I'm working on my project. I've been working on it for over a year, and I'm very excited. Yes, I use AI as a structural assistant, a research assistant, an editing tool, a proofreading tool, but I do all of the creative thinking and writing myself, right? Which makes me very, very admirable for me taking that type of effort and putting it into the project, because that's going to allow me to be able to stand out. Plus, I really wanted to represent creatives and artists so that we can understand how valuable, how much more valuable and rare we're going to be in this new commodity AI future that we're moving into. So that's an exciting concept, right? We should really be focusing on creating our original works instead of worrying about who is stealing or copying or any of that foolishness, because all we're going to do is stand out. Think about that. If there's an artist that uses AI in his planning for his digital painting or even his organic painting, right, and he just structures and use it mathematically to plan, his piece of artwork is going to be way better and way more original and way more unique than anything AI could do on its own. And even if AI does pull off something that's aesthetically pleasing, it's still not going to be out of the soul of human creativity, right? Or that the spark of human imagination. It can't beat that. And I want to add one more thing before I end the video. Even though there's people that are positioning AI to have you feel inferior, right? You know, that same game that they're playing when they try to have one culture feel inferior to another, they're using that same game with AI. You should never feel inferior of the thing that you created. AI simply is a different system that can access data far more quickly and process data far more quickly. But any of the answers and anything that it ever has, it gains from human data. And guess what? Even if it is creative enough to think of things on its own, it will never beat the human brain. And the only reason why it could do that is because of human creativity, imagination, and ingenuity. So humans will always be the superior. Think about it this way. The same way human beings, if you're a believer, can't beat God and outdo God because we are his creations and he is the creator, the same goes for AI. I hope this video was encouraging, and I hope you embrace the new landscape with more vigor and excitement and an optimistic, viewpoint. I promise you will flourish because we're waiting on you and actually excited about what you have to offer in the future. Have a blessed week.